This is Cafe English from Venture English. Thanks for coming in. We'll be talking about topics that come up every day. Get your listening practice, new vocabulary, and even some useful idioms for your next conversation with friends or colleagues.
Hi everybody, welcome to Cafe English. Paul Preston here. Great to see you again this week. And as you may know, I am doing a series about what it's like to think like an American or what it's like to be an American. And I am already on number 4, which is work ethic. So if you haven't watched the other episodes, go back and look at the first episode was optimism. Second episode talked about individualism. Third episode talked about teamwork. And now I'm talking about the work ethic. And so I think that American work ethic is also a big element of American culture and American lifestyle. And it hasn't always had a positive influence on society. In fact, some may argue that even today, it's not a positive, it's a negative part of the society. I don't know which is true. All I know is it does work to shape how we think and who we are. And basically, what's known as the work ethic, or sometimes called the Protestant work ethic of the United States and of Americans, focuses on basically working hard. It's really quite simple. The belief is if you work hard, you will get what you need. We have a kind of, I don't know if you'd call it a Bible saying or if it's just a religious saying or where it comes from, but there's an idiom that is God helps those who help themselves. And this idiom informs or creates the Protestant work ethic. And this is something that goes back hundreds of years in American culture. It probably goes back, like many of the other things that I've spoken about, it goes back to the very early days when people first came to the New World and they had to figure out a way to survive. Of course, they did survive, and then their kids survived and developed more and more and more. And each generation through the course of the years had to face new and sometimes bigger obstacles. So there were a lot of obstacles on the way. Now, American thinking includes these obstacles. The idea that you will face obstacles along the way is kind of based in your thinking, in American thinking. So you expect obstacles. You know they're coming. You almost appreciate the fact that you're facing obstacles. So that is kind of a base, I guess, of American thinking. So what do? Well, you work hard. And if you work hard, you will overcome those obstacles. And that's the key. If you don't work hard, you're not. You're going to be lazy. You're going to fail. You're not going to get anywhere in your life. But you can decide it. So that means since you can decide it, if you work hard, you're going to be able to achieve it. And that's all it really takes is very hard work. Well, naturally, this way of thinking has led people to work too hard and sometimes work in ways that are not very efficient because there isn't really a clear direction of how to work or how to best take advantage of the work that's being done. So maybe in modern thinking in America, we've been thinking more about efficiency of work and how to work smart instead of work hard. And this is a more recent idiom that's very common in the US. The idea being that if you work very hard, but you're not achieving the goals that you need to achieve, or maybe you're working in a direction that's counter to the goals, then you're not going to achieve your end point, your final goal. But if you are efficient and the things you do lead to the result that you're going for, then you're going to get there and you're going to get there faster. So that's the idea of working smart instead of working hard. So this is a little bit counter to the work ethic as we have developed it over the years. And of course, a lot of people complain that this line of thinking creates workaholics, people who work too much. Well, if we look at the figures from international figures of work, we do see that Americans tend to work a little bit more than many European countries, for example, and the expectation, the governmental expectation, the laws, etc., are that people will work a little bit more, they'll work a little bit longer. Well, maybe this is a little bit misinformed, perhaps by the culture. It's hard to say which is the best way, but Americans have come to believe that work is important and that in some ways you are defined by your work. Who you are is kind of based on what you do. So, well, a lot of these things really tie in together, and they're all based on this idea of work ethic. Work defines what you do, who you are, and what your goals are. And so this is a really interesting element of American thinking. So another thing that's, of course, come up in counter to this, I guess, is the concept of finding that work-life balance. I talked about last week about how cultures tend to balance themselves and find the proper balance. And we hope, of course, that we're finding that balance in work versus life. In the past, well, people really sacrificed their life for their work, and we don't want to really do that anymore. So I hope we can achieve some kind of balance. Well, that's all I have to say about the work ethic and thinking about work as an American. So, of course, as I mentioned, this is the fourth in my series of 6 shows about thinking like an American. I hope you enjoyed this one and found it interesting. And I hope that these shows and Cafe English and all of the other Venture English shows that we're doing are helping you improve your language, improve your confidence, improve your skill and your ability to communicate. Let me know what I can do to help you improve those skills. I want to help. That's why I'm here. And so let me know down in the chat. And of course, subscribe to the channel if we're doing something here that's worthwhile, that you want to be part of. And check out our website, VenturEnglish.com. Lots of resources there. There's the podcast. You can become a member. There's classes that you can take, or you can even sign up for a one-on-one session with me or my training partner, Gareth. So please do check out the website and subscribe and become a part of our community. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks for joining me on Cafe English. See you next week. Hey, I just wanted to let you know real quick, maybe you have some concerns about how you're writing emails. We have a course for that at VenturEnglish.com. It's an email writing course. It goes through a lot of details about how to write emails and gives you a lot of advice about how to structure, how to use the right phrases and the right words, and also how to read emails that come to you. So check out that email course at VenturEnglish.com. If that's something that you think you can use, I think you'll enjoy it.
Hey, thanks for joining me this week at Cafe English. If you'd like some more English practice, why not check out some of the other programs on the Venture English channel? We feature coaching advice and study tips to improve your English. Don't forget to subscribe and come back often. You can also go to our webpage at VenturEnglish.com. Become a member for free and maybe even try some of our courses. At Venture English, our goal is to help you speak English better.